Hello and welcome to AI Market News by LM. We're kicking off our look at 2026 by diving into two massive, powerful forces that are literally reshaping our world as we speak. On one side, you've got the incredible speed of artificial intelligence, and on the other, the sudden, sharp shock of geopolitics. Let's see how these two are colliding.
To really get what's going on, we need to look at two huge events that happened at the exact same time. But honestly, they felt like they were from different planets. One was a vision of the future, and the other, well, it was a raw display of old-school power.
So first, let's head to Las Vegas. It's the Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, and the air is just electric with innovation. The one topic on everyone's lips? You guessed it, the absolutely explosive boom in artificial intelligence. This is the world of code, of data, of what feels like limitless possibility.
But at that very same moment, the headlines were flashing with news that felt like it was ripped from a history book. We're talking about a U.S. military operation in Venezuela and the detention of President Nicolas Maduro. This is the world of borders, of conflict, of hard power.
So, what's the deal? How on earth does a flashy tech conference in the desert connect to a military operation in South America? Well, as we're about to see, these two worlds aren't separate at all. In fact, their collision is what's driving pretty much everything right now, especially the global markets.
Okay, let's start with that tech explosion. The race for AI dominance is well and truly on. And believe me, it's not just some friendly competition. This is a high-stakes, honest-to-goodness gold rush, with trillions of dollars hanging in the balance.
You know, CES used to be all about the newest TVs and cool gadgets. Not anymore. Now it's basically a battleground for AI supremacy, where the biggest tech giants on the planet come to flex their muscles and stake their claim on the future.
And right at the heart of this fight is the hardware that makes it all possible, the chips. For years, NVIDIA has been the undisputed king. But its main rival, AMD, is making a seriously aggressive push to take that crown and grab a bigger piece of a market that's already worth hundreds of billions.
And at CES this year, AMD came out swinging. They announced brand new chips, like the MI440X, which is designed to help even smaller companies build their own AI systems. They're even teasing next-gen models that promise a huge leap forward in performance. Make no mistake, they're going right after NVIDIA's bread and butter, the corporate data center. This really says it all. The CEO of AMD, Lisa Su, just captures the whole feeling perfectly here. She says, "The speed of AI innovation has been astonishing, but we are just getting started." The industry truly believes this isn't some bubble. It's the dawn of a whole new technological era, and the hunger for more computing power is basically infinite.
But we need to zoom out a bit. This isn't just about NVIDIA versus AMD. The real competition for AI dominance is happening at the national level, and nowhere is that clearer than with China's big strategic push.
And despite all the trade tensions, Chinese tech companies are showing up to CES in a huge way. Lenovo is holding its main global event right there for the very first time. Brands like TCL have booked some of the biggest spots on the entire convention floor. This isn't just about selling a few more products, it's a massive statement of ambition, and it's directly backed by Chinese national policy that's pushing for huge upgrades in AI and robotics. Okay, now let's make a hard pivot. We're shifting gears from the world of AI to the world of hardball geopolitics. Because while the tech world was celebrating its latest breakthroughs, a completely different kind of power play was unfolding.
The news was just stunning. Venezuela's President Maduro, a leader for over a decade, was detained and flown to New York. Why? To face narco-terrorism charges in the U.S. federal court, where he pleaded not guilty. An event like this is almost unheard of in modern history.
And the reaction from many U.S. allies? Well, it was incredibly cautious. Countries all across Asia and Europe were calling for stability, for diplomacy, for respect for international law. While some definitely acknowledged the security threats posed by Maduro's regime, they also made it clear that any action has to follow legal norms. This was not a simple good versus evil situation.
So, let's get past the political statements for a second. Where did this power play hit the hardest? The answer, as it so often is in the money. Let's look at the immediate ripple effects on the global economy.
For China, which has loaned Venezuela billions upon billions for energy and infrastructure projects, this was a huge deal. Publicly, they condemned the U.S. action, calling it a violation of sovereignty. But privately, their financial authorities were scrambling to figure out just how much of their money was suddenly at risk. China's top financial regulator immediately put out an urgent call. all major banks were ordered to report their total lending exposure to Venezuela and to assess all the potential risks from this sudden political instability. It just goes to show how quickly a geopolitical event can morph into a major financial headache for another world power.
So here we are. We've got these two massive stories unfolding at the same time: an incredible AI boom and a serious geopolitical crisis. So how are financial markets, which are basically the world's real-time scoreboard, making any sense of it all?
Now, this is what's really fascinating. Despite all that geopolitical uncertainty, Chinese markets are soaring. The CSI 300 index, which tracks the top companies, had its best start to a year since 2015, getting close to a 4-year high. And guess which sectors are leading the rally? Exactly the ones Beijing is prioritizing: information technology, healthcare, and consumer staples. To get a quick read on the mood of the market, we can look at something called the Fear and Greed Index. Honestly, think of it like a mood ring for Wall Street. It mashes together 7 different indicators to figure out if investors are feeling fearful and cautious or greedy and ready to take risks. It gives us a great snapshot of the market's collective emotion.
So, how does it work?
Well, it looks at stuff like market volatility. That's the fear gauge, the VIX. It also compares the demand for safe assets like bonds versus riskier things like stocks. And on the flip side, it even checks out the demand for high-risk junk bonds. When investors start snapping those up, it's a pretty clear sign that greed is winning out over fear.
And if we want a signal from the real physical economy, look no further than this number. The price of copper has shot up to a record high of over $13,000 a ton. Copper is absolutely essential for everything from building new homes to building new data centers. A rally this strong tells us there's powerful demand for industrial resources, and it's being driven by both that AI build-out and expectations of global growth.
Okay, so let's put it all together. What does all of this tell us about the landscape of 2026? It really shines a light on a fundamental tension that's probably going to define the entire year ahead.
On one hand, we've got the explosive, creative force of technological innovation, with AI at its center, promising just unprecedented growth. And on the other hand, we have the disruptive, unpredictable force of geopolitical intervention, which creates instability and risk. These really are the twin engines of 2026.
And that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? As this unstoppable force of technology meets the immovable object of geopolitics, which one is going to bend? Will innovation create a future so prosperous that it just smooths over political friction, or will old-fashioned power politics put up guardrails that shape our technological future? The start of 2026 has set the stage perfectly, and the answer is anything but certain. This video is automatically generated by NotebookLM, an AI-powered tool. The reference sources used in this summary are listed in the video description. As this content is AI-generated, there may be errors in proper names, pronunciation, or unnatural speech. This video does not provide investment or trading advice. Please make investment decisions at your own discretion. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.